being rich isn't so bad. You have it all as long as the law allows it. It's funny that you mention the law. It's not for everyone, especially if you're a member of the 10 richest royal families in the world. Now they can have everything they want. Just take a look at how they live. Number 10. Liechtenstein royal family. Liechtenstein, the 10th richest royal family in the world. Liechtenstein. It might not be on your radar unless you're a geography enthusiast or a fan of extreme wealth. But this little alpine country is home to the 10th richest royal family in the world, the Liechtenstein family. But how has a country smaller than Manhattan given rise to one of the richest royal families in the world? 2 words: accounts and tax havens. Yes, until about a decade ago, Liechtenstein was considered a tax haven. The largest bank, of course, was owned by the prince himself. Thus, Hans Adam II accumulated an immense fortune of $7.5 billion over the years. Since the country stopped being a bank for the dirty money of the richest Liechtensteins, their net worth has plummeted, and today it's only worth $4.4 billion. Still, the Liechtenstein family is filled with entrepreneurs, bankers, and brilliant financial experts who skillfully invest and manage their funds. Naturally, they aren't among the biggest spenders. Well, they do live in a coastal castle overlooking Liechtenstein's capital, Vaduz. The castle is worth over $50 million. And let's not forget their impressive art collection, estimated at around $500 million, which they showcase with true elegance in their palace in Vienna. But wait, there's more. The royal family of Liechtenstein. They also own LGT Bank, valued at nearly $2.6 billion. And a princely fund with $1.4 billion invested. Their lands are nothing to scoff at either. With about 20 hectares in Austria dedicated to various purposes, from timber production to nature reserves, as well as hunting and fishing grounds. And I mentioned their prized possession, an authentic moon rock from the Apollo 11 mission. A thank you gift for Liechtenstein's important contribution to the Apollo project. However, the family has treated themselves to luxuries over the years. For example, in 2013, Prince Hans Adam II bought a $100 million yacht called the Princely Yacht. The yacht is 213 feet long and has 6 cabins, a pool, and a helipad. Not bad for such a modest ruler. Also, in 2014, Princess Charlene of Liechtenstein wore a $1 million diamond tiara at a royal wedding in Monaco. The tiara is made of white gold and has more than one embedded in it. Diamonds. Finally, in 2015, Prince Alois of Liechtenstein bought a $20 million estate in Switzerland. The estate includes a castle, a vineyard, and a forest, so hunting and drinking wine are probably on the agenda these days. Even so, compared to our next entry, the Liechtensteins could live like hermits. Number 9. Members of the Moroccan royal family. Morocco, the land of charming landscapes, vibrant souls, and, yes, you guessed it, a very wealthy royal family. These Moroccan monarchs have been in power for 5 centuries. And boy, has it paid off. The Moroccan royal family. A squad of 19 members has a combined wealth that would make even the richest sheiks think twice. More than $8.2 billion. Billions of dollars. At the head of this parade of wealth is none other than King Mohammed, whose net worth alone could make a billionaire blush. But let's talk about their lavish lifestyle. The king himself is known for his ultra-luxurious palaces that defy imagination. With a monthly maintenance budget of $900, these palaces are the epitome of extravagance, featuring lush gardens, fountains, and all the amenities fit for royalty. They're not just regular homes, but the king doesn't stop at the palaces. His car collection would make any enthusiast envious. With over 600 vehicles, including a $1 million Rolls-Royce Phantom and a fleet of high-end brands, his garage is worth more than some people's getaways. And let's not forget his personal Boeing 737 BBJ, valued at over $90 million. Then there's his passion for yachts, his 230-foot superyacht, the Bugas. It may be relatively modest, as it only costs $50 million, but it comes with private jacuzzis, cinemas, pools, and of course, a helipad. Because, let's face it, what's a yacht without a helipad these days? Some might say that King Mohammed VI is relatively modest compared to his peers on the world's rich list. But let's not kid ourselves. When you live in palaces worth over $1 billion, fly in a customized Boeing 747-400 with defensive and offensive capabilities, and sail the seas on a multi-million-dollar yacht, you're definitely living life to the fullest. Of course, if that's the case, number 8. The royal family of Dubai. It's been in full swing for a while now. The Dubai royal family, the Al Maktoum, may not be the richest in the world, but when it comes to opulence and extravagance, few royal families can compare to the rulers of Dubai. With a collective net worth exceeding $18 million, they've turned Dubai into a playground for the ultra-rich who live a life of unparalleled luxury. Their royal residence, the Sable Palace, valued at $500 million, boasts 100 square meters covered in precious metals, ivory, and intricate decorations. They've turned Dubai into a playground for the ultra-rich who live a life of unparalleled luxury. His royal residence, the $500 million Sable Palace, is 100 square meters covered in precious metals, ivory, and intricate decorations. It features a private cinema, a spa center, a game room, and several pools for Sheikh Mohammed's 6 wives and their leisure needs. It is worth noting that one of the most lavish weddings in history was held, costing a whopping $200 million, including a $100 million stadium. As for properties, the Al Maktoum family owns vast stretches of land in Scotland, including a castle and a golf course, as well as prime real estate in Newmarket and London, like a $138 million mansion in the gardens of Kensington Palace. The Al Maktoum family's real estate empire spans internationally, with properties in Morocco, Monaco, and the United Kingdom. They have also played a key role in iconic buildings like the Burj Khalifa, Palm, Jumeirah, and the Dubai Mall, each valued in the billions. His garage is a treasure trove of luxury cars, like a $4 million Bugatti Veyron, $5 million, millions, and a $1.5 million Ferrari Enzo, among others. Crown Prince Hamdan, known as Fatsa, raises the bar with golden cars and a fleet of amphibious vehicles, millions, and a $1.5 million Ferrari Enzo, among others. Crown Prince Hamdan, known as Fatsa, raises the bar with golden cars and a fleet of amphibious vehicles. Their fleet of yachts, valued at over $2 million, includes the 530-foot Dubai, the 4L, the Moonlight 2, and others, offering the epitome of maritime luxury. The royal family of Dubai doesn't stop at jets. They own an entire airline, Emirates, with over 250 planes. Emirates is famous for its opulent interiors and charges over $600 an hour for the privilege of flying in luxury. Prince Hamdan, a modern-day Aladdin, enjoys extravagant hobbies like scuba diving and horseback riding. Their love for animals knows no bounds. Beauty contests with camels, golden camels, and a private zoo that costs over $100 million. Truly overwhelming. But if that seems extravagant to you, just wait and see who's next. Number 7. Members of the royal family of Brunei. If this were a list of the most outrageous shopping sprees of royalty, Sultan Hans Bolgier would undoubtedly take the top spot. Rarely can you find a man with more extravagant taste than this ruler. The worst part is that, with an astonishing net worth of $30 million, he has the money to fund his craziness. One can rarely find a man with more extravagant taste than this ruler. The worst part is that, with an astonishing net worth of $30 million, he has the money to fund his craziness. One of the Sultan's most notorious expenses was a $20 haircut, where he flew his favorite barber from London on a private jet and put him up in a 5-star hotel just for a 30-minute cut. Who doesn't think the Sultan was trying to hit on his barber and showing off his wealth? However, this is just a glimpse into the Sultan's world of excess. The Sultan's cars include Lamborghini Veneno, Bugatti Veyron, and Ferrari F40 cars. He owns a private Boeing 747-430 with a golden makeover and opulent interiors, including a golden toilet. His penchant for extravagance extends to the skies, with a $400 million private Boeing 747-430 receiving a $133 million gold makeover and opulent interiors that even include a gold toilet. If not, how are you supposed to take a dump in a golden jet like that? The Sultan resides in the Nurul Iman Palace, which is basically a small city with 1,780 rooms, 257 bathrooms, and enough space to get lost for days. Its value is so astronomical that no one dares to put a price on it. But the Sultan's real estate game doesn't stop at the palace doors. He owns a $30 million mansion in Beverly Hills, a $110 million castle in France, and a $400 million hotel in London. So, why didn't he use this hotel to get his haircut? I'm telling you, he was aggressively flirting. There's no other explanation. Meanwhile, Prince Mason, the Sultan's son, lives a more modest lifestyle with access to more than $20 million. He's a sensation on social media. He shows off playing with his Bengal tiger, pilots his personal helicopter, and has a car collection worth more than $1 million. His golden Lamborghinis are like rolling treasure chests. $1 million. His golden Lamborghinis are like rolling treasure chests. You might think that this royal member has gone crazy with money and that there's no one more extravagant than the Sultan of Brunei. Well, the King of Thailand might want you to hold his beer for this. Number 6. Members of the Thai royal family. The Thai royal family is like the cast of an endless soap opera, where opulence is the star of the show, led by the extravagant King Bajaralongkorn, or Rama X, if you prefer your drama with a romantic twist. This royal clan has no qualms about flaunting their wealth. If all monarchs were like him, there would be a global craze to turn palaces into playgrounds and tiaras into trampolines. When Rama X took the throne, his first decree seemed to be the wealth of Thailand. All mine. He now owns a treasure worth over $43 million, making him the richest royal on the planet. His spending habits are legendary, from frolicking in the Bavarian Alps to buying multi-million-dollar homes in the same neighborhood, all while having a perfectly maintained palace in Bangkok. All in the name of royal leisure, private jets, and luxury cars. Of course, they're in their shopping cart. The contents of their garages might be worth just $5 million, but their hangars could fund a small country with planes valued at nearly $2 million. However, the wealth of the Thai royal family isn't limited to Rama X. The late great Bhumibol Adulyadej created a fund to keep the royal family's money relatively safe. So, despite Rama X's frivolous spending, the Adulyadej family isn't going to be left out. He has a net worth of about $60 million. Yeah, Rama X doesn't look anything like his dad. To be honest, he doesn't look anything like any other king, no matter his extravagant tastes. Still, the Thai royal family doesn't even make it into the top 5 wealthiest monarchs in the world. So let's move on to the most elegant and opulent royals. Number 5. The British royal family. When we talk about royal families, we often think of the British royal family. In fact, the Windsors have become more than just mere rulers. They've become pop icons, like the Kardashians, but with class. Of course, being at the top of one of the largest economies in the world and owning vast lands all over the UK, the Windsors have amassed an immense fortune over the years. Currently, the family's net worth stands at $88 million. Unlike other royal families in the world, the lion's share doesn't belong solely to the king. Actually, Charles III has a net worth of about 600 million, which is a huge jump compared to the 40 million from last year. Well, when your ultra-rich queen mother leaves you her $500 million in her will, this kind of thing tends to happen. But still, most of the family's funds are tied up in their properties, which, unfortunately for them, aren't really for sale. Just Buckingham Palace costs 5 million. But can you imagine the king selling it? What happens with the British family is that, when it comes to showing off their wealth, the British royalty is as subtle as a brick to the face. You don't see them arriving at Buckingham Palace in a golden car or on a yacht that used to be a warship. The only time you can see the true splendor of this family's wealth is during the coronation. 3 magnificent carriages adorned with jewels. Jewels and gold, priceless clothing, and of course, the creme de la creme, the crown jewels. It's a collection of over 100 items and 23 precious stones. They are valued at a whopping $4 million, making them more valuable than 2 of Guillermo and Yates' 3 children. So, even though the British royal family tries to fool us into thinking they're pretty modest and well-mannered, I have no doubt that King Charles swims in a pool of wealth so deep that even Scrooge McDuck himself would be impressed. If not, how can we explain the extravagant lifestyles of the rest of our list? I have no doubt that King Charles swims in a pool of wealth so deep that even Scrooge McDuck himself would be impressed. If not, how can we explain the extravagant lifestyles of the rest of our list? Number 4. Members of the royal family of Abu Dhabi. The Al Nahyan aren't trillionaires, but they live like they are. With a net worth of 150 million, they're richer than 3/4 of the countries in the world. Naturally, they tend to go a bit overboard with their spending and their luxurious lifestyle. First of all, you need to forget about regular houses. The Al Nahyan clan lives in real palaces. The crown jewel, Casa Al Watan in Abu Dhabi is valued at $2.7 billion. 1 billion. It's not just a house, it's a cultural attraction. The Al Nahyan family is not content with merely owning royal palaces and magnificent houses. They have invested more than $7 million worldwide, playing Monopoly with real properties. Think about Berkeley Square, Tilney House, and the Ham Estates in the UK. They don't charge $200 when they leave. They buy up the whole neighborhood. And what's the point of an ultra-luxurious palace if it doesn't have a really fascinating garage? Imagine a garage full of over 200 cars, including Bugatti Veyrons and Lamborghini Veninos. His son received a solid gold Mercedes-Benz worth $3.3 million for his 21st birthday. Who wouldn't want to feel like James Bond? Right. The Nahyan family has private jets. Of course, their Airbus 380, valued at $500 million, isn't just a means of transportation. It's a flying 5-star hotel, and it's their Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's the most dreamed of way to travel. Gone are the days of cramped seats and peanuts. It's champagne wishes and caviar dreams at 35. High heels. In the yachts. The Al Nahyan family's collection would make a Bond villain blush. The Assam, valued at $600 million, was once the largest superyacht in the world. It has everything you need for a luxurious ocean getaway. Helipad, cinema, pool, and even a gym. And the best part, it comes with a sign that says no ordinary mortals allowed. Yeah, the Nahyan family knows what's up. Living large and paying little attention to the world around you. A good tactic, for sure. But the rulers of Qatar had a very different vision. With double the money, the Qatari royalty seems a bit more modest. But don't be fooled. They also have a bit of extravagance in their lives. Now there are 3 members of number 3, the Qatari royal family, who have wished for the impossible and made it happen. Art. Private jets, ultra-luxury cars, and opulent mega yachts. Everything's on the menu. But there's only one family that wanted to have the best soccer players in their backyard, and they made it happen. Qatar. The Qatari royal family lives an unparalleled life of luxury, amassing an astonishing net worth of around $335 million. Their opulent lifestyle is a testament to their immense wealth, primarily coming from fossil fuel exports. These folks have more real estate in their pockets than most of us. Pocket change. The United Kingdom is practically their second home, where they've bought just about everything. From skyscrapers to Olympic villas, they have enough prime properties to make even real estate moguls jealous. Their palatial residences in Qatar are basically a mashup of Game of Thrones and MTV Cribs. Everything's covered in gold, and the interiors are fancier than a five-star hotel throwing a tea party for dignitaries. No problem. That's why they have a palace. When it comes to cars, they have a fleet that could rival any Fast and Furious movie. I have no doubt that Dom would be thrilled to have a family like that. Bugatti, Ferrari, and Rolls-Royces. They collect cars like we collect things. Well, not cars. But you get the idea. When it comes to yachts, they prefer to fly under the radar. Yeah, I wouldn't believe it either. In fact, the Qatari royal family has two enormous floating palaces that make the Titanic look like a rubber duck in a bathtub. A very, very tragic rubber duck. The two yachts look more like a luxurious all-inclusive resort, complete with pools, beach bars, jacuzzis, and, of course, helipads. And it's not just cars, yachts, and planes that they like. There are also enthusiasts. Picasso, Warhol, and their friends hang on their walls. Once they went broke buying Paul Cézanne's The Card Players just because they could. Isn't that a power move? If we look at their lives, we might think they are the richest royals in the world, but they barely scratch the surface of the top three. So, who's in second place? I hear you asking. Number 2. The royal family of Kuwait. The royal family of Kuwait. The royals don't just live in luxury. They redefine the very notion of extravagance with an astonishing net worth of around $360 billion. They are the oil barons of the Middle East. Their wealth, mostly coming from oil exports, flows like something out of an Arabian Nights tale. They live in opulent palaces that make Versailles look modest. And they know how to enjoy the good things in life. Their car collection is so extensive that it has its own museum featuring classic cars, supercars, and even vehicles from the James Bond movies. No, I'm not kidding. Literally. They paid a huge amount to get one of the James Bond cars. If they stroll around and use the machine guns that come out of the trunk, I don't know about that. When they're not cruising in style on land, they're doing it on the high seas in their magnificent yachts, which make luxury cruise ships look like little boats. They even have an artificial lake for their prized Arabian horses. Why not? But it's not just about cars and boats. They are also art enthusiasts, with a collection that spans centuries and cultures. They have built museums and cultural centers that would make the Louvre look like a local gallery. The Al Zeba lifestyle isn't just excessive. It's a masterclass in how to turn wealth into legacy. They have wisely invested not only in oil, but also in finance, real estate, and telecommunications, leaving no stone unturned. And even though they live a truly opulent life, they try to keep a low profile, something the richest royal family in the world doesn't seem to know how to do. A royal family from Saudi Arabia that owns a tiny fraction of the world's money might not seem like a big deal. But when you own 2% of all the money in the world, well, that's just showing off. The Saudi royal family is so rich it makes the Rothschilds look like peasants, with a mind-boggling fortune of $1.7 trillion. They make the Monopoly man look like a homeless person. And boy, do they know how to show it off. Number 1. The royal family of Saudi Arabia. Thanks to their oil wealth and other natural resources, it's basically the land of liquid gold. $1.7 trillion. It's split among about 15 family members, which makes them richer than Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne combined. They have a taste for the finer things in life, and by finer, I mean gold-plated. If it's not gold, it's not worth it, including yachts, cars, and furniture. I bet they even have gold toothbrushes, for those royal pearly whites. His obsession with gold extends to everything from his gold Rolls-Royce to his gold espresso machines. I wouldn't be surprised if they slept on gold mattresses. If this were the case, the bill for the author's downfall would also be golden. His property portfolio reads like a real estate mogul's dream vacation list. They own prime real estate in France, the UK, and basically anywhere they point on the map. The latest one, Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci, for just $453 million. Millions of dollars. Because who doesn't need a $50 million painting of Jesus to spruce up their living room? Living room, right. But wait, there's more. Saudi King Salman Al Saud doesn't have one, not two, but 3 lavish palaces. Just the Al Yamama Palace has 200 bathrooms. That's right. They have a bathroom for every mood. And they're probably all gold-plated, not to mention King Salman's car collection. That includes cars so expensive you'd have to sell your kingdom to afford one. And their private jets are basically flying palaces with a golden throne room. The king even uses a custom-made gold escalator to disembark from his plane, because regular stairs are just too common. And when he's not flying in his golden plane, he's cruising on his superyachts, which are worth more than the GDP of some countries. But what really sets the Saudi royal family apart is their extravagant travels. They don't just book hotels, they buy them and redecorate them to their liking. They've even turned the Louvre into a restaurant. Imagine having a croissant next to the Mona Lisa. In fact, the Saudi royal family takes luxury to another level. Their wealth is so mind-blowing that it makes Elon Musk's plans to colonize Mars look like a budget vacation. But the travels of the Saudi royal family are so much more than that. Do you want to know more? Click on the video to the left.